365 podcast for the Field of 68 Network. Excited today to be joined by Ishmael Wainwright. A longtime Baylor favorite, a fan favorite, a high-level player that really played a huge role in Baylor reaching the heights it's at now. And Ish had some great years and some great memories from his career, too, a lot of success. But Ish, thanks for being on with us. So first of all, kind of just bring Baylor fans up to date with where you are. I know you're overseas right now. Update us on your career because I know things are going well for you.
Man, everything is going good right now. Right now, I am going in. This is my third year. I'm in France playing with SIG Strasbourg in the GP League, LMB League, and also playing Champions League. It's a tough schedule in Basketball Champions League, but we are 1-3. We just came off of a huge win last night against Ika Athens. And I'm having fun, man. It's my year. It's my third year. Yeah, I have goals to reach the NBA, reach the next level, and it's possible here in the next year or two. So, I mean, I'm just living my life,
Right. Well, I remember, when your basketball career ended, you did a year with the football team. And what was that like in terms of what was your thought process during that kind of year where you like football is my future, or then did you miss basketball? Kind of take me through that post year after Baylor basketball was finished.
So a lot of people didn't know at that time. I had my daughter. Great small world. I was going through a little phase where I needed to support my daughter. And so, I mean, if somebody comes to you and said, hey, I think you should play football, you should try football, you'll be a really good tight end in the NFL, or if not practice squad. But then, me as, I have to provide, I have to find something. I was impatient. With the basketball side, I didn't hear anything. You hear all the rumors like, oh, he's not going to get drafted. He's not this good. So I kind of fell into that. I said, okay, well, I'm going to take a step away from basketball. And I trusted Coach Rule in the process, did all that. I sucked, but it was okay.
No, you didn't suck. No, you didn't.
That's how I felt. Like, man, I was terrible. But I ended up getting a call from the Bills. And, I went out and did the mini camp. Learned a lot from all the guys, all the rookies that was drafted, Shumbert and Allen, learning from them, getting to talk to them and having, conversations with them. It wasn't meant to be. And I'm not going to lie. Like, this was the time frame. I went there for a weekend and got back Sunday night around 11. And I kid you not, I woke up the next morning at about 8:45, 8:50, and I was in the basketball gym by 9:30. My mind, I'm so serious. I am so serious. My mind was like, yeah, I can't do this football stuff. I can't do it. I was in the gym the next day, and it just kept flowing. I mean, I still had the passion. I still had the love, and I got a call. I got a call within a month, and a team was like, hey, we want to bring you to Germany. Can you play? I said, send the contract and I'll sign it.
Yeah.
And things just went from there. I mean, it was a lot of people was like, hey, we don't know if he's going to be able to, we don't know if he's going to be the Ish from Baylor. But I took it as the Ish from Baylor was the Ish at Baylor. I mean, I had different roles at Baylor, and it kind of carried over and it carried on. And now I'm year 3. And I haven't looked back, to be honest. I have not looked back. I still keep in contact with all the guys. RP the Chance. I talk to all of the guys. So I'm having fun. I had fun playing football, but the basketball side, I love it. I still love it. You all can see I'm having a lot of fun still.
Awesome.
No.
Ish, you always were like Tweety Carter. You just had that energetic smile, charisma about you. And I think you just draw people to you. I want to ask you about this current team. I know Mark is the only guy on the team that you actually played with, right?
Yeah, my guy. Yes. Okay. Yes, he was there. He was a red shirt. But I was kind of sad when he redshirted my last year. It was my senior year. He was a freshman.
Right.
I was kind of sad. Him and Tyson Jolly redshirted. But, I mean, they're both good right now.
Right, right. Yeah. So, I mean, did you get to know these other guys in the recruiting process? I know you were like one of the best recruiters for Baylor, to bring other guys on, the younger guys. Like, did you get to meet Jared Butler? Did you meet Davion Mitchell when they went on visits and things like that?
I met those guys. Little do people know, when I was playing football at Baylor, I was still going to practice.
Right.
Like, if we didn't have anything going on, I would go practice, go watch practice, interact with the guys, talk to the guys. And then when I got done with football, I was driving through and I told coach, hey, can I come back down here to get back into basketball shape? So I went back to Baylor and I worked out with the guys, Jared, Maceo, Matthew Meyer, Mark, Thamba, everybody. I worked out with the whole team, Obim, all the guys. I worked out with them. I played. I was on the practice squad. It was fun. I mean, I got back in basketball shape. I got to know Jared, Maceo. They're great guys. And I told them, I had a meeting with them. And Mark, I kid you not, I had a meeting. I talked to the team without the coaches. I said, if you guys take this serious and lock in, you guys will be the first team in Coach Drew's era to make it to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Last year, they wouldn't have stopped the season. They would have made it to the Final Four.
Right.
This year, they're going to make it to the Final Four, and they are. They're my winners. So I don't care anything about it.
Yeah.
I had to win the championship, but they have to keep going. I mean, I told them, I met all of the guys. I had conversations with them. They asked me questions, personal questions. They're like my little bros. I talk to them now. Just, say what's up to them. I send them videos. So it's like, okay. So I know the guys. I gave Matt a hard time.
Two questions I want to ask you. One is the Wisconsin, avenging that loss. I know you were happy about that. I saw your tweet. And then winning the first Big 12 championship. I mean, how did that make you feel? Because you were so instrumental in setting the table for that.
Oh my gosh, seeing them do that I'm not gonna lie, seeing them win the Big 12 conference, I dropped a tear. I had to wipe it fast because I mean, all the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears that the guys before me, the Curtis Geralds and the Tweety Carters and the Lace Darius, they don't have one of those, So it's like that was for everyone. And winning that, like that's only the beginning. I made a comment yesterday. I made a comment 2 days ago to Mike Smith. I said, hey, Baylor's a powerhouse, but after this year, Baylor is going to be the powerhouse. Baylor is going to be up there. I'm putting Baylor up there with the Kentuckys and the Dukes now because look at what Coach Drew has done.
Right.
So.
Absolutely. I thought it was interesting. You said you wanted to meet with those guys, no coaches in the room. Just why did you feel the need to do that? And what about this group of guys as you were practicing with them? What hit you? Were like, man, these guys are special.
The way that they reminded me my senior year with the Motley, the Noonies, the TJ Masson, the Alfred. They reminded me my year. They reminded me of the chemistry that we had and the chemistry that they had at that time that I was there. Mm-hmm. It just reminded me of that group. I mean, that year. And you know how guys, it's always like that. If the coaches are around, they kind of hold back. That's everywhere though. That's in professional meetings. If your boss is right next to you, you're not going to say certain things.
Right.
Yeah. And so having the guys, having the coaches, out the room, and I'm telling the guys, hey, I'm your brother. I've been in your seat. I fought next to the guys. I told Mark knows who I am, and I mean we were just talking, had an hour conversation, just heart to heart. I told them, I said, if y'all it's gonna be days where you're gonna hate Coach Tang. It's gonna be days where you're gonna look at Coach Drew and be like, dude, stop talking. It's going to be days like you're just going to be like, I'm not feeling. But if you get through those days, it's so much stuff that they can accomplish. I mean, they won the Big 12.
Yeah.
They made the Sweet 16. They just smacked Wisconsin. They about to make it to the Elite 8. They're going to keep climbing, and I'm proud of them.
Right, right. I had a really good talk about a year ago with Mark Vital, and he told me he was kind of describing himself when he first got to Baylor, like that year he redshirted. He was just having some trouble, not just basketball wise, but just socially. He said he had a guard up, and his whole life he didn't trust people, hadn't been around white people a lot. He told me, and it was just very you know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah, I
not really
understand.
knowing how to fit in. And he said you were very key in helping him realize, Mark, everyone here loves you. We're a family here. I mean, what do you remember about Idol? Because to me, it's just been really neat seeing him grow as a person. I think he's really gone through a lot of changes in the last 4 or 5 years.
Right, and it is true because he's expressed that to me, and I'm not gonna lie. At one point in time, I felt the same way because coming from Kansas City, you're not around certain, you're not around things. But then I ended up, I left. I seen the other side. I seen, I opened up my eyes and I seen the world. And so coming to college, I remember him coming on a recruiting trip and he was like, I've never been around this many people in my life. Like, I don't talk to people. I said, well, you might have to change that because you are about to come to Baylor and it's a lot of people, you have to do interviews and this and that. He's like, you have to kind of bring it all in. I mean, yeah, you can hold up that guard, but at some point of time in your life, you might have to let that guard down just a little bit because that guard can stop you from meeting friends, meeting people. You might, just certain things. So
Yeah.
He's a great kid. He's always been a great kid. It's just his background, Everybody comes from all over the world, all over the country.
Right.
Sometimes you got to just relax, just get to know people,
Well, how have you seen him change, just in keeping up with him? I mean, whether it's his approach to basketball, whether it's his personality. I mean, it's probably been pretty cool for you to watch his transformation, I guess.
Basketball, I'm gonna start with basketball. Basketball has been amazing because just seeing the things that he does on the court, the energy, he's always been energized, but he's taken it to another level as far as energy. Defense, stuff like that. I wish I could watch practice. I used to watch practice online, film. They used to send Coach Jake used to send me practice and stuff like that. But I mean, I just wish I wish I could see it every day. But that energy is just on a different level. Him and Jonathan, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And so now on the personal, I see that he's interacting with a lot more people. I mean, interviews and his Instagrams and things that he's doing for his community when he collects all the shoes and gives them back to the community. That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. So
yeah, he's really showing a personal side now. It's pretty cool. Did he ever just dunk on someone in practice, like where everyone was like, "Oh my God," because I know he could.
That's bound to happen. That's bound to happen. Yes, he has. Yes, he has, and it was shut down in practice. But I mean, I wish if it was like if Mark dunked on anybody in practice, we would in practice. If Mark dunked on somebody in practice, we'll shut practice down. If that was a rule, we wouldn't really have practice. Because he would just go in and try to dunk on anybody, and he will.
Yeah.
Ish, I want to ask you about, you mentioned Tang, saying there's going to be days where you hate Tang. Was he kind of the disciplinarian or the guy that really got in your faces defensively? And I want to hear some comments because obviously Paul Mills and Grant McCaslin had a lot of success in this tournament. Paul Mills obviously has Oral Roberts in the Sweet 16, which is unbelievable. Grant,
I got them in my bracket.
I mean, what do you remember about them, and what stories do you have about those guys?
So this is how I knew Coach Tang was crazy. I walked into a gym in Las Vegas, Tarkanian gym. We were getting ready to play someone. I forgot the team. And I walk in the gym and I see somebody in a green shirt in the top of the stands. The gym was filled. See somebody stand up and do this, has a big BU, and he's like this. I'm like, man, this dude is crazy. He was doing it the whole time I walked. I said, this dude, what's this dude up there? But then I realized that, later on, I was like, that's Coach Tang. And he kept that same energy. So in practice, on my freshman year in practice, He called me soft so many times.
Yeah.
It's the Corey Jeffersons, the Brady Heslips, the Isaiahs, the Garys, the TP, the Rico, when he just was, crazy. So, I mean, Coach Tang is the guy that is going to he's going to figure out one thing. He called me a kid from Kansas. I'm not from Kansas. So he knows how to pick at that and will get you going. So, I mean, he's always in that way. Coach Mac Attack. Man, he was the exact. Him and Coach Mack had the same thing. They would find that one little thing that would irritate you, but it's a good irritation. You're acting like you're from Kansas. You're from Kansas City, Kansas. You're not from Missouri. You're not from Kansas City, Missouri. And that will get my juices flowing. Like, hold on now. Coach Mills was like the silent one. He'd be like, he'll pull you to the side and be like, hey, you know what? You're just being soft. But he was like, you're just being soft. But I'm kind of saying it in a nice way, but you're just playing soft. That's how Coach Mills was. And I'll be like, man, that's really crazy. Let me go out here and improve. So, I mean, everybody has their different ways, but those guys, Coach Drew really didn't say much, but you just had those guys right there played a huge part. And also Coach New. Coach New he was also the guy that would pull me to the side and would let me have it. It wasn't no holding back with Coach New. So, I mean, that whole coaching staff, and I'm proud of them. I still talk to them. I'm proud of every last one of them. I have them in my bracket playing against each other. So, Coach Drew, once we take care of Villanova, I have us playing against Oral Roberts.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry, I had Baylor winning against Earl Roberts going on.
All right.
I'm proud of those guys, and they know that because look at where they're at. They're doing big things.
So when you say they called you soft, Baylor had a reputation for a while. I don't think when you played there because of you and Rico and it's changed certainly, and now no one calls Baylor soft anymore. But there was a reputation that we had, what would you call soft length? We played zone, we weren't that physical. But starting with your team, I think, you just really, I remember a game against A&M where I think it was like they had one offensive rebound and you had like 19 offensive rebounds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you beat them by double digits. I mean, I think, you just out rebounded teams, you out tough teams. I mean, you were really kind of playing the Mark Vital role on those teams that you were on. I mean, what do you think? Is that something that you guys talked about, really transforming Baylor to this physical, tough team? I mean, was that really, what was embedded in you when you were at Baylor?
Well, when I was there, I'm going to speak on the time that I was there. Rico kind of set the tone my first 2 years. First 2 years I was there, Rico set the tone because I was going against Rico every day.
Right.
So I wanted to make our team, we were fast, we were good, we had, length and stuff, but I wanted to have all that plus being dominant on the boards, on defense, being a physical team. So Rico changed the way we practiced. We had a drill where it was a box out drill. We had to take out Rico. And that just carried over. So it was a point of time where, my junior year, King McClure tried to take my head off a couple times in practice because he was so used to that mindset. I'm going to go get this rebound. We have to be the most physical team. Ish is down there. He's going to grab this offensive rebound. Let me take his head off so he knows that I'm coming. So that carried over to the games. So then now you have a fast team, you have a physical team, and you have a smart team at that too. So now it's all coming together. And that was my mindset. Yeah, I want to be the most physical defender on the court because I want the referees to adapt to us. So now the referees are adapting to Baylor. Mm-hmm. So now teams, when they come into Baylor, when they step on the court with Baylor, it's like, man, it's no more, we're going up against this zone. We're going up. Now it's like, man, we have to match their physicality. We have to match Mark Vital's physicality. We have to play our game. If not, we're going to get ran off the court.
Right.
Ran out the gym.
Yeah. It's crazy when I watch Baylor. When I watch Baylor defend too, it's just amazing that they play that way the whole game. I mean, I would just, it's not just a couple possessions where they come out of the huddle all riled up. It's like start to finish, Davion Mitchell is on you. I mean, like, it seems like it would be exhausting.
Man, him and Mark, me personally, I'm going to be heartbroken. I just wish that they could just say, Davion and Mark, Defensive Player of the Year, here you go, share it. You know,
yeah.
Like, I don't like that. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it that they're, you know, they were the finalists. But man,
yeah,
Defensive Player of the Year. Like if it could be 2 awards, like Baylor would have that. You know, Mark would have that. So I love their energy. I love it.
Yeah, and now it's rubbed off on everyone else too, which is really cool. You know, when you were there, I felt like a lot of people would always refer to you as the guy that kind of held everything together. I mean, if there was a problem in the locker room, you were squashing it or whatever. Who do you see on this team kind of filling that role? You know, when you talk to other guys, what do you hear about that?
To be honest, I kind of see it in multiple guys. Maceo, you know, if Maceo can go 0 for 7, and he'll still be like, all right, let's go. All right, let's go. Come on, guys, bring it in. Davion, he'll get in the zone where it's like, okay, I got to get this steal. I think it's a little bit of everyone now. I think it's rubbed. Mark has rubbed me. Royce rubbed off on me. I rubbed off on Mark. Mark has rubbed off on the whole team. Right. So I think it's not just one person. I think it's the whole team is actually, is taking that role. Mark is the main guy when it comes to that, but I feel like the whole team has taken a little piece of that. So,
when you signed with Baylor, you were pretty high-profile recruit, had a lot of big offers. But, a lot of these guys, you hear the story all the time. They've got a chip on their shoulder, whether it's Maceo not getting a lot of high-profile offers or Adam Flagler or JTT Jared was overlooked in a lot of ways. And I know I'm missing someone, but Davion, a little bit higher of a recruit. But anyway, how do you see that like in practice, or does that come up in discussions about like the whole overlooked chip on the shoulders thing? Does that ever get when you're around those guys?
I think those guys, Adam Flagler who was averaging 30 points a game in college.
Yeah.
I think, you got Mark Vital, one of the top dunkers in the country. You got Maceo T, who was averaging 25 in college. Those guys are going to forever have a chip on their shoulder. Caleb?
Yeah, we're still. I'm still here.
Okay, those guys are going. I feel like going into Baylor, going in like anybody that goes to Baylor will always have a chip on the shoulder because I'm so used to hearing people say, "Oh, Baylor's soft." Like you said, Baylor's soft. Baylor, Coach Drew can't coach. Coach Tang can't coach. Coach Mills and his whole coaching staff. I want to prove that we got the best coach in the country. We got the best coaching staff in the country. We have the best gym. We have the best fans. We have the best jerseys, the best shoes, the best game on the court. So with those guys coming in from their high school, yes, they're going to have a chip on their shoulder. I had a chip on my shoulder, and I had my first 2 years where, it was up and down, but my junior year, my senior year, even to this day, I still have a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah.
And those guys, I'm pretty sure they still have a chip on their shoulder. They want to be the first team to make it to the Final Four in Baylor in Coach Drew's era.
Right.
Yeah.
They're the first
modern Baylor history.
Baylor history. They're going to be the first team to do a lot of things that I've never done before. So for them to have, I think that they will continue to have that chip on their shoulder. Even Matt, after he got one more year, Matt has one more year.
Right.
Mm-hmm. He's going to have a chip on his shoulder next year because he's a senior.
Yep.
And because I'm going to cuss him out because he's still wearing 24.
You told me, you said earlier you were hard on him at one point. I think that's what you said. What's your take on Matt? He's such a character. You got any good Matt Meyer stories?
Yes, I do. When he came on a visit, I remember this day. He came on a visit. He had his, hair all dangling. He always, I'm like, who is this dude? Who's this dude, man? And so we started playing pickup. And his first time touching the ball, he shot a fadeaway 3. He was on my team. Yeah. I'm like, who is this dude? Like, what? Dude, pass the ball. But it happened over and over and over again. So at this point, I didn't like Matt. He knew I didn't like him. I didn't know who he was. Nobody told me. It was like, yeah, Coach New can't, hey, we're going to put him on your team. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll give him the ball and see what he can do. But he shot a fadeaway 3. Al Freeman came down and went by him with an and one layup. I'm like, man, oh my gosh. But then, he left. I was okay. But then he had committed. And then I think I had left, and I came to practice, and he was wearing 24.
Your number.
I looked. Everybody looked at me. I looked at him. I said, Coach Tang, come here, Coach. He gonna have to change that number. I said, because the same energy that Lace Darius gave me when I was wearing 24 is the same energy I'm going to give him because he's wearing 24. Because I had me wearing 24. I was surprised that Lace Darius even let me wear 24.
Yeah.
You look, I still remember the tweets. Who is this number 24 out there? Why is he wearing 24? That was the same mindset I had with Matt. And so I gave him so much. So much when I was there. And I mean, he hits me up. Hey, how's everything going? Hey, what's going on? What should I do with this? And I built that. I mean, yeah, I've never seen somebody shoot so many shots. And when you first check in the game, he's like once he check in, and I love it. Now I love it. At first I was like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No, shooters keep shooting. He's shooting 40%. You can't get wrong. You can't go wrong with that. And I love it. I mean, he's energetic. He's still learning, but I mean, I'm going to still give him some stuff because he's still wearing 24.
Yeah.
There was a move during the Wisconsin game where they run the weave. They like to run the weave for like a couple touches. Let everybody touch it, before they run their own. And I remember, Davion, I think, handed it off to Matt, and Matt would normally hand it off to Maceo. And so he starts going that direction, and then he reverses and then hits a layup. I was like, incredible move, but it was so out of character for what the offense normally does, right? And speaking of that, no, you weren't there, but so there was a funny moment in Destin, Florida. I was sitting right behind the bench, and it was an interaction between Mekhi Mason and Matt. And I'm sure you've had some of these situations too. But Matt, he was a freshman, and as a freshman, he was like, every time
all the time,
he was clapping like crazy. I want the ball, I want the ball. And so during the timeout, Matt, Mekhi had just iced him out and taken his own shot. And Matt started yelling at Mekhi. He's like, Mekhi, I was open. And Mekhi says, you're always blankety blank open. Run the offense.
Yeah. Good for Mekhi.
I've had some moments like that.
Yeah.
Hey, did you hear from the coaching staff after they won the Big 12 title? I heard that they were contacting different players and stuff just to kind of share in the moment.
After every game, I talked to Coach Drew. I talked to Coach New after every game, AD after every game. Every win is I know it's late over here when they play sometimes, so
right.
Yeah,
I make sure I stay up sometime, and I know I'll be tired in the morning, but I kind of I make sure I watch the game. So Coach Drew texts me after the game, after every game, sends me highlights, sends me texts, and the posters, the tweets, everything. And after they won the Big 12, Coach Drew sent a message out, to the guys and said, hey, this was not just for us, this is for you all, so that means a lot. And they even texted my mom, that means a lot. If for a high major Division I coach and the high major Division I assistant coach to text my mom after a big time win.
Yeah, big time.
That's amazing, and that's just who they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's their personal number, texting my mom, texting me. It's like, man, congratulations. That was for Mel, man. That was for Ish, so that's wow. That's a personal message, so
Yeah.
I love them to death. I love that they do that, and that's the culture there. It's a family. It's one big family.
Yeah, and I'm sure they saved you a piece, but I think they were trying to save back pieces of the net for a lot of the former players. Maybe since you're overseas, you haven't gotten it yet, or they might have sent it to Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah.
But hopefully they got you a piece too. So
yeah, I'm praying.
Yeah,
I'm so excited. I'm so proud of them guys, man. And I wish I was there to watch them cut the nets down. And I wish I was there to watch them cut the nets down this Final Four too. So
yeah. Exactly.
So when they're in these tournament games, what are you doing as far as watching it? Do you just watch it in solitude at your place, or do you go nuts as it's happening? I mean,
well, the last game they played against Wisconsin, I was actually on the road, and my teammates knew that I was excited for the game, and I was watching on the road. And just excited. I mean, I was actually getting treatment while I was watching the game. So they know. You know, my coaches out here, they know. They ask me who's going to win this, who's going to win this, and I'm watching the games. I don't care how late it is. This next game, I'm watching Villanova. I'm talking to everyone. Josh Hart, everyone.
I mean, as the games occurring, are you texting with? I mean, you said you had a game the other night, but like, if you were at home watching it, would you be texting with former teammates? Like, who are you keeping up with? You know, through all this.
Right now, I'm keeping up with. I talk to TP, I talk to Isaiah, I talk to Nudie. Joe was on a totally different time frame. I think it's like morning time over there. Some things in Australia, and Mott's in China. So I speak to him every now and then. Al's in China, I believe, too. So, I mean, I speak to the guys that, like, I try not to bother them if they're, nighttime, morning time is different.
Yeah.
Mainly a lot. I've been talking to Royce, TP, and Nooney a lot, and Isaiah. Those guys I talk to a lot. It's random, too, so those guys, I know they're excited, too. I know they're watching and supporting, too.
How about our guy Rico Gathers? Is he rapping? Is he going to make up a song about all this?
That's the thing. He's one dude I cannot get a hold of. But no, I think he is rapping.
Yeah.
Because people keep asking me, is he on a roster of football? I'm like, I really don't know.
Yeah.
So
I ran into him about a month ago here in Frisco, Texas. His son is playing Little League ball up at the same gym where my kid plays, and he looked good, man. I mean, he's big old, big Rico. He hadn't like gained too much weight or anything. He looked good. I didn't get to talk to him very long, but he looked great. He was friendly as could be.
Okay.
He was excited. He had just watched the Baylor game on TV that day. He was excited. He's keeping up with it too, I know. So. Ashley, what do you got?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you. I noticed. I just looked at your roster, and Bonzie Colson's on your team. Notre Dame, yeah. And any other guys that we would recognize that played college ball in the States?
No. Last year we had Jordan Davis. He was at UNC, I believe. But you also had Steve Vasturia that went to Notre Dame also.
Okay.
But no, this year just Bonzie Colson. Which is crazy because he was like, hey, I know you. It's like, you was at Baylor, and I was like, yeah, you was at Notre Dame, but he was bigger at Notre Dame. He was the player of the year almost. So it's crazy because the guys that, you see in college, you meet up with them overseas or in the NBA, and it's like, man, I remember, like, you were the talk of the. We didn't want to, we wanted to play against y'all, but we couldn't play against y'all. And then it's argument like, we would have kicked y'all, but y'all would have, it's though we talk about that all the time, Sure. So it's like, I let them know. I said, my senior year or my junior year, we would have killed y'all.
So in France and Germany, any vacation recommendations for Americans that want to visit? Like, is Strasbourg a cool place to visit, or where we?
Strasbourg is a decent place to visit. I would say I still haven't been to Paris with all the shutdown. I still haven't been to Paris, but like to go see the city.
Right.
But if you want to go shopping and stuff like that, go to Paris. They have that one boulevard that's amazing that we drove down. I don't know, I forgot the name, but it has all the stores you could think about.
Yeah.
The Eiffel Tower. Just things that you never really,
Sure.
Me as a kid, I never thought that I ever get to see.
Yeah.
But me personally, I want to go to Greece. I want to go to Santorini.
Yeah.
Or I want to go, enjoy a vacation. With all this COVID, I don't know if I will. I'll probably just end up in Waco, Texas, which is no problem with me this summer, which that's the goal. I do plan on coming down to Waco for a couple of weeks.
Awesome.
I plan on having a basketball camp in Waco, Texas also.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I'm trying to work on that. That's the goal.
Let us know.
So, yeah.
Let us know before you do that. We'll promote that on our message boards for sure.
Oh yeah, I have to. Yeah, we just started talking about it. Me and my uncle just started talking about it 2 weeks ago because that's something that I really want to do in Texas,
right?
Especially Waco.
Yep.
Yeah, Waco's home to me. It's probably different now, but it's home to me, and so I want to do a lot of stuff in Waco, Texas. That's where I plan on going after I'm done with everything. Coach Drew might be bald by the time I get there. I want to be right next to him. Assistant coach with him. So that's the goal.
Yeah. Well, if they keep having all this success, everyone's going to want to come hire these assistant coaches. So there may be some openings. So we'll see.
Man, they do great.
Yeah. Well, Ish, man, we appreciate your time, and like I said, longtime fan favorite at Baylor. I know people always want to hear from you and want to keep up with what you're doing. And when you're having success, it makes a lot of people smile. So, thanks for the time. And Ashley, you got anything else to let go? Or
no?
Okay.
Appreciate the time.
I got one more thing. Did y'all?
Yeah. What do you got?
Did y'all get the Sailor Bill, the hoodie?
I want one.
I bought one. Yeah. Did you
got one?
Did you get one?
I don't know how to get one, but I think it's on the bookstore or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go get on there today and see if I can try to get one.
Yeah.
I like those. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were wearing some new shoes the other night too that looked really good. Some new ring goals that look good. So
yeah, let me ask you about that real quick. Like the transition from Adidas to Nike, is that a big deal? Was that a big deal to you, or you like Nike a lot better?
Yes, because right now it's funny because right now I am on an Adidas team,
right? And
I'm trying. I like the Donovan Mitchell shoes, and so I have over 10 pair of Donovan Mitchell shoes,
right?
And right now I don't mind because I'm older and in my career I like what fits in my feet. I'm a Nike guy. I've always been a Nike guy, but that transition from Adidas to Nike is a huge. I feel like we have the best uniforms on both. Don't get me wrong, Adidas had amazing uniforms at Baylor.
Yeah.
But them Nike and Vault uniforms, the gray ones that they have,
they're tough.
They need to bring them Vault uniforms back ASAP.
What's your go-to Nike shoes? I'm a big Kobe. I wear Kobe's when I play basketball. What's your?
Right now, I have a pair of LeBrons that I've been wearing, but go-to Nike, LeBrons right now. LeBrons, because I'm like a heavier type of guy, right. So it's kind of LeBrons.
More support,
More support, yeah. Right. But Adidas, Donovan Mitchell shoes, yeah.
Very
good.
All right, guys. Appreciate it. Let's hope for some good times here in these next 2 weeks and get a Final Four, maybe a national title to Waco. So, all right, for Ashley Hodge and Ish Wainwright, I'm Jason King with Sic'Em 365 and the Field of 68. Thanks for joining us.